We got
We've
you.
got Corey Taylor up now, and we'll open it up for questions.
Corey, another week coming off a weekend you were supposed to play a game and you didn't. How you feel going forward? How kind of anxious are you to get back on the field?
Oh, I would say that we're excited to get back on the field. Obviously, this year we've been, presented with so many challenges as far as schedule goes, but we've gotten the chance to really sit back, watch some good tape, get everyone's bodies back so that we'll be prepared to be our best selves going into this game.
How much has it helped kind of missing all these games just in how everybody's body is and getting back in shape and not being quite as banged up this year?
As far as being banged up, I think, the less games you play, the less likelihood of that happening. But at the same time, there's nothing like playing a game. You can't really simulate that. Our strength staff, they do an amazing job of conditioning us to be prepared as best as possible. But there's nothing like playing in the game other than just playing in the game. So it's kind of give and take on both ends.
Sorry, Nathan, didn't mean to jump your thing there. Corey, last time we saw you there versus Tulane, kind of a not a breakout game, obviously, because we know who you are and you've done big things before, but it was by far the best game of the year for you. Just how, I guess, nice was it to kind of be over the injuries or the lack of the playing time or whatever was going into that and then finally come out and do your thing last time out versus Tulane?
I had a lot of fun last game. And, there's been games being a part of the USF game and UCF game. I mean, those were really fun games for me as well. Honestly, when we're out in the field and we're winning, anytime there's a W in that column, that's a really fun game for me. But it was really a blessing and it was humbling and honor for me to be able to contribute in that way to help lead to a victory for our team.
And then the other guys, I mean, obviously with Shamari going down, we talked to you about that early in the year and big loss, no doubt, but with TK and Deneric and what they've been able to do, and then obviously you kind of coming on strong lately as well, I guess if you can, just what makes it about that backfield that it kind of doesn't really matter who it is. You guys are just kind of going in there and all kind of eating.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a next man up mentality in the running backs room. I mean, every guy has to be prepared because you never know when your number is going to be called. I remember my freshman year playing against Houston, and I was sitting down chatting with my friends on one end of the field, and next thing I know, coach called me up to go in for a goal line, and I scored on the first play I had ever taken to carry. So every guy, we really press that type of urgency on them to be ready and to be prepared. And, I mean, TK is a guy with great experience, and he brings so much to the playing field as far as power. And he's a really smart player, and as well as Deneric and his speed. Obviously, a huge loss losing Sham this year, but he's still around and he's coaching everyone up. Me and him have always had that type of relationship where we bounce things off of each other. So I think that's where you're seeing the strength of the running backs room come from.
And what kind of last one for me, what kind of I guess impact is Brooks still having on the team? I think he walked out. Was he the captain last game? I don't know if he's been doing that most games, but I think he was out there for the coin toss the last one. So obviously he's kind of there front and center for that moment. But I guess behind the scenes, I guess what kind of impact is he still having on the team, even though he's not able to play?
Yeah, I think the biggest piece is motivation. I mean, anytime that you have a player who has been so instrumental to the success and to building a team, and now they're not able to really participate in the way that they had seen or you had seen for them as far as him not being able to play, you want to go out and you want to play for them each and every single play. And I know we talk about that in the running backs meeting room, going to play for him. And he's still very vocal as far as, encouraging guys. And I think it's just helping him become even better of a player, a leader. And I'm super excited to see what he does in the future just because of this time where he's stepped away.
Corey, you talked in the preseason about, the fact that in the first 3 or 4 years you lived in the weight room. But this past year, you're trying to get your body right. You did a lot of yoga, a lot of stretching, a lot of that sort of thing. What have you done as the season has gone on? Have you stayed with the yoga regimen, and how has that helped you kind of manage?
Yeah, in large part, I can thank the strength staff. Jevin Bowman, one of our coaches, he's been helping me a lot through a lot of things, just physically. Mama Mani has done an amazing job with, her helping us through yoga, and she's taking me aside even sometimes to help me get some extra tools under my belt. And really, I still have that same mentality in the middle of the season. A lot of what I do is not as much weight room oriented and lifting and trying to get bigger and stronger. I mean, right now, a lot of it's just a lot of stretching and making sure that my body's recovering the right way, and so that I'll be in full health, so that I can contribute in the way I really want to in order to help our team reach all the goals that we have in front of us.
Corey, the last time we had you up here, we talked a little bit about your record label that you're releasing, Resonant Sound. How has it gone since then? Just update us.
Yeah, the label has been doing really well. We've been really excited. Chris Paul is probably, well, he's the most known artist off the label so far. And we were really happy to be able to release an EP for him. That's been really well. We got a lot of great feedback from that and a lot of support. And we're coming out with new music pretty soon for him. Also, my roommate, Jordan Dora, he just released his first piece under Resonant Sound. So it's been a really awesome experience. I love to be able to help people cultivate their gifts and their talents and be able to present them to the public. So I hope everyone continues to enjoy the music, and we have a lot more stuff to come.
What's the name of the, I guess, the label and everything? How can we find it?
It's called Resonant Sound. And if you look up the 7th, which is what Chris goes by, that's his artist name. He has an EP out entitled Roads, and it's on all major platforms, Instagram, Apple Music, Spotify, and the same with Jordan. He goes by Jodo, and he has the same. And actually, me and DT haven't really spoke about this in depth yet, but we have some surprises coming for the Cincinnati game, so that should be fun.
Hey, Corey, what makes it different? I got booted off if you'd already answered this, but what makes it different facing Navy at their place? Obviously, it's been pushed back, and now you're finally getting to playing, but just facing Navy at their place.
Navy. Well, first of all, let me say I love their facilities. I think they have a great place and a great stadium to play at. Usually, you have all the cadets up there, and I know that they feed off the energy of the cadets a lot. But Navy's always been, a really good team, and they play very disciplined football. So I don't know if it exactly makes it different, because I feel like if they're on the road or if they're at home, you're going to get that disciplined team. You're going to get that team. You know what you're going to get from them. So, we're excited to play this week, and the game's going to present its challenges, but we're ready to tackle all of those.
And then the final one for me is your old stomping grounds is a couple games away from a state title. Have you been paying attention to them, or are you just focused on Owen Ostrowski and what, as I talked to you earlier in the year about, he's one of the biggest guys you've ever seen, but hauling on what they've been able to do this year?
Yeah, I definitely tuned into whatever Owen is doing. Owen is an absolute specimen. He's a beast. I'm super excited for his future in football. And I stay tuned into what Holland Hall is doing, my alma mater. And I'm super excited about what they've been able to achieve so far and the success that they've had. And, hopefully we get to bring that state title home. That'd be awesome for the school and the program. I know, Coach Gross and all those guys still there are doing an amazing job with their student athletes, just how I feel that they did with me and former teammate Avery Gragg while we were there. So I'm super excited for them and wish nothing but the best.
Corey, sorry to take you back to the yoga, but is there a favorite stretch that you have that you think really helps you? And is there a stretch that you really fear or hate?
Let me see. I believe it's down dog. I believe it's down dog now. It may seem very elementary, but if you're in it for long enough, then your shoulders will really begin to burn. I believe that's the one that it's called. And my favorite, one of my favorite that we do as Mama Mani is Savasana, because it's a time where you really get to relax and clear your head. And I don't know if we, as far as mental health side of things, I don't know if we really take the time to really sit and do that for ourselves on a daily basis, which I feel is so important. So I really appreciate her for that, and giving us and allowing us that space to be able to sit there and relax and free our mind of all thoughts, and just really be, at peace and one.
Hey, Corey, are you involved in the video production as well with some of the music videos?
With some of the music videos,
Yeah, like I'm looking at like the 7th right now, and some of the videos that have come out on that. Are you involved in that?
Oh yeah, everything that's
Okay.
Resonant Sound. I mean, that I put all that together. But actually, I do have another teammate of mine who has been a great ally. His name is Joshua Stewart, #1 out on the field, and he's been a great asset and is a huge help to making sure that vision comes to life.
Any other questions for Corey? Thank you, Corey.